In the September issue of Martha Stewart Living, we did a great story called Cook Like a Pro. And part of that story had 6 pasta recipes that cooked so quickly that the sauce and everything was ready in about the time it takes to boil your water and cook your pasta. So today's recipe is one of those recipes. It's a pasta with cilantro, pesto, feta, and toasted almonds. Really, really delicious and simple. So while my pasta cooks, I'm going to make my cilantro pesto. Start with a little bit of garlic. The recipe calls for 1 small clove of garlic, and I said to chop it and measure it because I only want about a teaspoon total because I want a hint of garlic without it being overwhelming. I'm not actually gonna chop mine because I know the size that I want. It's about, I don't know, the tip of your thumb, I guess. Drop that through the tube while your machine is running and it'll chop everything up really, really nicely if you haven't already chopped it. And then you can stop that and add 2/3 of a cup of toasted almonds. Give that a little bit of a chop before you move on to adding the rest of your ingredients. Ha, that was funny, right? Once those are chopped, you can add your cilantro. It's 1.5 cups. I know cilantro seems like a strange thing to make a pesto with. If you don't like it, you can use parsley, but it is actually really delicious with this flavor profile with the feta. It's actually going to be finished with some roasted carrots as well. It's really nice. I'm going to add a little bit of the oil, start the processing. Rest of the oil, it was 1/2 cup, and some salt and pepper as well. That's your pesto. You might want to give it a taste, a little scrape too, because I see some of the almonds are on the side of the machine. 1 more little pulse just to combine everything, and then it's done. It's super easy. All pestos can be made this easy if you do it in a food processor. I know a lot of people only prefer to make their pestos in a mortar and pestle, and that is the traditional way and has a more delicate flavor, but for speed you can't beat a food processor. I know. I don't know why I'm transferring this, but I am. Just want to get the food processor out of here. Plus, I have nothing else to do while I wait for my pasta to cook because the sauce was so fast. The first thing that you're going to want to do, I am serving this with some roasted carrots. You don't have to, but it's really nice, a little bit of sweetness and adds some more substance to your meal. You're going to want to cook this pasta until it's just al dente. Sometimes that is about a minute or 2 less than the package says, so you should start checking. It's not ready yet. It needs like 1 more minute. But because I always forget, I'm gonna save my pasta water now. You wanna have a little bit of pasta water. Not as much as you would normally do if you were finishing your pasta, cooking it in the pot, but you might wanna loosen the sauce a little bit with a tiny bit of pasta water. So I always save some, and I do it before I forget and drain the entire pasta pot, which happens a lot. These are about 1.5 inch pieces, and they took about 40-45 minutes at 400 degrees. Just for easy transportation, I'm putting these in a bowl. I wouldn't normally do this. I try to use as few pots and pans and bowls as possible. And if you ever come over to my house for dinner, don't be insulted if I don't transfer things to platters, because I try never to do that. So many extra things to wash. Pasta is done. Now, you can put it into a really large bowl because you're going to want to toss that with all the pesto. So transfer to a bowl. Take that with you. Take your pasta water. Over here. Carrots too. Pesto. I like to add about 1/4 cup of the pasta water. This just loosens it and helps create like a silky sauce. You don't want too much. You don't want it watery. It's not cooking anymore, so it's not gonna have an opportunity to absorb. It's not doing all of that great stuff that happens when you do it on the stove, where it helps thicken sauces and stuff. You just wanna make it so that the pesto loosens just enough to make a nicely coating sauce. So be sparing. You can always add more, but you can't take it away. And then you can eat. So pasta. Some of the roasted carrots. Some toasted chopped almonds. So the whole recipe calls for a total of a cup of almonds. You put 2/3 of a cup in the pesto and save some for garnish. And then some crumbled feta cheese. So you're getting sweetness, herbaceousness, toastiness, and saltiness with a little bit of brine from the cheese. And for beauty's sake, a little bit of cilantro. And that's it. Literally this entire, well, all right. I was gonna say it took the amount of time it takes to cook the pasta, but I was roasting the carrots ahead of time. Just say you have some roasted carrots on hand, and then this is faster than it takes to boil the pasta. I promise you are gonna love it. It is divine. Enjoy. If you like recipes like this and you want more, make sure to click like and subscribe because we have plenty more where this came from.